I was a reporter at the Boston Herald for 14 years, and the day of the bombing, I was working for the Herald. I was the Herald City Hall reporter, and we have a pretty small staff, so when a big news story happens, everybody gets called into it. So I just got thrust into action that day and started doing my work and covering the story, and went down to the finish line. And so what happened was I had covered 9/11, and I made some really good friends down there, some police officers that I have still to this day some of my best friends. And one of them actually texted me after the bombing and said to me, he said, "Take good notes, you're going to write a book about this." And it hadn't crossed my mind at that point because I was in the middle of all this, but he turned out to be right. And I did. I took really meticulous notes for that entire week and the days after. And they became pretty important when we were doing this book. So after the Watertown shootout, I was sent out in the middle of the night to cover that after Officer Sean Collier was killed on the Thursday night. I was on my way to the MIT murder scene when we heard about Watertown. I got diverted to Watertown, and I was sent out there. And so I got there just as that was wrapping up, just after the bombs had exploded and the bullets were flying. There was still smoke in the air and a lot of chaos. And I stayed there through the night into the next night until they caught Dzhokhar Tsarnaev hiding in the boat. So I had always wanted to do a book as a journalist. I had a lot of opportunities to do books, but nothing that really struck me and really kind of grabbed me by the heart that made me really want to put the time in to do it. But this was that story. It was a story. It was my city where I grew up. Felt really connected to what happened, and I was right in the middle of it. So I connected with an old friend of mine, a journalist, Casey Sherman, who has done 7 books, and he was looking for his next book, and we both had a little meeting and decided that we should collaborate because it was a big story. So it took 2 of us. So I was fortunate enough that, being a journalist, sometimes publishers will reach out to you, and it's not the way it works for a lot of folks, but, that's how it works in journalism sometimes. So I was fortunate in that we had a deal all lined up.
Thank you for listening. Please review our other available content for help writing, publishing, and marketing your book. If you have any questions about the Author Learning Center, please contact us by email at authorsupport@authorlearningcenter.com.